So Rochdale 13 with Alan Kilshaw here at Padgate ahead of training on Tuesday night. First off, we just want to reflect on the York defeat. It was the third time you've lost to them this season. Do you think those two previous losses played on the lads' minds a bit?
Well, possibly, mate. They're becoming a bit of a bogey side for us. I just thought the performance was off on the day for whatever reason. I think we've beaten better teams than York this season. With respect to York, could be a mental thing. I just thought we did some things, it's probably out of character and not the standards that we've set previously. It's a little bit of a concern that under pressure, mentally, we're pretty weak at times, and we need to be tougher mentally. And that's a big focus. Coming into these last few games and into playoffs and finals, wherever we end up. So very disappointing performance. I think there was a 5-minute period before half time. We got in at 6-0. We were very confident, even 12-0, but 18 just gave us too much to do. And there's a couple of individual errors before, a knock on at a tap, and some missed tackles and penalties that around that period that had a knock-on effect. And we'd also made errors previous to that and defended our goal line very well, but it stacks up, and dropping catches and little things like that you don't have for in a game. But unfortunately, we did those things, and York were the better side on the day, and we knew they would be. They're a good side, and as you said, they've beaten us twice already, and we were prepared for a tough York team. They made changes from the week before, and we got over their problems and their Toulouse the Toulouse game, which was twice to Toulouse in 4 weeks, and they were ready to go, and they deserved their win.
It's the first time you've been beaten at home in the league this season. Was that disappointing? Did you want to get to the end of the season without losing?
Yeah. You always set a goal. Start of the year, you want to win all your home games, and it was disappointing. But look, it was only our third league defeat, and it's probably why it's so disappointing. Because we haven't lost much this year, and we have been pretty consistent. I think 5 times in total, and one of them was Widnes, and I suppose 3 times against York is probably the thing that's most disappointing. But hopefully we'll continue to be strong at home in our last 2 home games, and whatever the playoffs brings, whether we get a home game or not, depending on where we finish, hopefully we'll be strong in that, and we're still confident, and it's still a fortress for us, and it's still a very tough place to come to and get a win.
I know that you wanted a strong referee for the game. In the build-up you asked for that. Do you feel that you got that on Sunday?
Well, look, I thought quite a lot of decisions went against us, as they did against York, and that's that mental toughness where we've got to ride that out. I just thought a couple of 50-50 calls early went against us. Joe did a good tackle, they reacted to it, and suddenly they got a penalty. A couple of times where I think we should have had a drop out, and it maybe could have gone back to one as well on the last play once where they played at the ball, and other things throughout the game. I was disappointed. It was the same referee we had at Newcastle. I was disappointed with him on that day, and I didn't really see much improvement. So I spoke to the referee's coach about him, but he was happy with his performance, and we've just got to cop that and focus on ourselves and take the referee out of it. We go to Toulouse this week, and Jamie Blome's reffing, and we know he needs to be strong, for both teams, because both teams are going to go at it, and hopefully he'll have a strong performance this week, and we won't be talking about referees after the game.
You mentioned next up you've got a trip to Toulouse. A couple of sides have gone there and treated it as a bit of a holiday this year and accepted defeat before they've even got off the plane. How are you going to approach Saturday's game?
Yeah, not a chance, mate. We're going there as be as professional as we can, put in a performance and hopefully get the win, but there's no pressure on us this week. They're the heavy favourites for the competition. They've been well looked after this year, with their fixture list and a few little things here and there. So the odds are stacked in their favour, but look, it's a challenge. We like a challenge. We're coming off the back of a loss. We've not been beat 2 times in a row all year, so we've got that going for us, and the lads do need to show mental toughness and do need to show resilience this weekend, and hopefully we'll have that in abundance and put in a really good performance that we can be proud of, and before the week off, and then we'll go again for them last 2 home games.
You took a point off them in the regular season. Just firstly, would you say that was your best performance this year? And then on another note, do you think you'll take some positives from that display into the game on Saturday?
Yeah, we'll go there with no fear. I think because of that, I think some teams have played him and have been a little bit fearful. But we know we can match him, and we probably should have won that game. have another look back at that. They benefited from being full time, and they've gone through the league, and it's the travel, and it's tough going out there, and logistics, and you're out of your regular routine. So they've got that in their favour, but we know it's going to be a difficult ask. We will take something out of what we played in last time, but it's more about now and us putting in a performance this week, and not getting too focused on what's gone on in the past.
You've gone into the Super 8 quite comfortable in second place. You had a bit of a buffer, and that seems to have slipped away now. There's only 2 points between you and Barrow, so do you think that puts a lot of pressure on you going into the last couple of weeks of this stage of the season?
Yeah, I suppose it takes away that chance that we might need to rest players, but the other argument on that is we've had that many injuries. We need to get a settled team and a settled team playing, and that is a concern. And a lot of things like that's been out of our hands. We've been moving players around positionally because players have needed rest or they've been injured, and we need to get settled, especially in the backs, in the back line. Look, it is a bit of a concern at our form, but you can't stay up all year. It's hard to do that. And we've had a good start to the year, a little bit of a dip, early on, but we've got a strong middle, and obviously we're in a dip now. But we can come through that, and we can get back into some form. We just need to work hard, get back into some form, and I'm confident we'll get back, and we'll be back peaking around the finals and the playoffs, and I'm confident we can still finish second and really push on to that playoff final and the playoffs after that.
And just on a last note on the team, you're forced into a couple of changes last week, but this week do you think you'll have to make a couple of changes due to the performance against York, or will it be just who you've got available and picking it aside as strong as you can?
Oh, look, we'll have a sit down tonight. I think a couple of people's performances don't deserve to play this week, and we won't miss those players tonight, and they'll be given some things to work on, and some players will come back, and hopefully we'll have a couple back from injury as well. I think we should be really fully fit for the Doncaster game the week after the weekend off for Wembley. Hopefully we'll get a couple of bodies back this week as well, and we're getting close to our strongest team being available, and once that's available again, then we'll get some form.
Cheers, Alan.
Cheers, Sean.